This week has been another good week for ADA, another week of strong fundamentals, another week of making progress, which is a great sign. And again, this all continues to build towards some very exciting things coming down the pipeline. And right now, things have been set up in a way that we're probably going to see some massive volatility as we get into the week. And I want to talk about what might trigger this, what we could in fact see in terms of short-term movements in price. We'll discuss that in this video, but I also want to talk about actually some comments surrounding a video I made yesterday. And I think that there needs to be some clarity surrounding this. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below, hit that subscribe button, that bell, it's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I want to dive right into the data because what we're seeing is a lot of consistency around the crypto market. We've seen ADA come back to almost a 1.0 long short ratio. We haven't really seen much in terms of new shorts opened in the crypto market. And so where we've gotten to now is kind of again, a place of uncertainty, but not uncertainty surrounding the macro, not uncertainty surrounding, tariffs or anything like that. It's just uncertainty surrounding the next direction in terms of price. Because what we've gotten to is very, very tight compression. Today, for example, you've actually seen this short leverage move up to about 81.2 cents. Long leverage open up to about 81.2 cents and short leverage up at about 83.5 cents, which we did start liquidating some shorts earlier on here in the day. Only downside is that we didn't have a lot of volume, so we didn't really make any extended moves off of that. But I think we're going to get some volatility. All right. You're talking about very easy pushes to 86 cents, very easy pushes back down, retesting about 78, 79 cents or so. And what it's probably really going to come on, it probably is the PPI report, which comes on Wednesday. Now, here's the thing. The last PPI report was such dog crap that I think anything decent or flat is probably going to move the market to the upside. We occasionally get kind of one of these curveballs out of left field that are way different from any of the other data that we experience. And so that might be the case with this next inflation report that we get. And I think that would probably move the market to the upside. And then you could start seeing a lot more of the rate cut expectations actually priced in. They're not priced in right now. I've seen some people saying that. If that was the case, price would be a lot higher. We're lower than where we were back here. After we got the PPI report, right? These are where we're at. This was expectations of rate cuts, et cetera. We're down still, gosh, what, like 15% from there, 14%, whatever. The retracement off of that is kind of irrelevant right now, but that's probably what we're waiting for as we get into the week. But this week has been still very consistent, despite the chop in the market, despite the ups and downs. We have seen accumulation, hoarding. In terms of ADA, oh gosh, another $45.85 million worth of ADA removed from exchanges. So the trends have been very consistent. And we're now getting to this point where there just simply is not a lot of assets to go around. And that kind of brings me to this from yesterday. So I obviously made that video talking about the next 6 months in terms of ADA. And I saw a lot of people comment that either didn't watch the video or just love to troll and talk crap. And frankly, there are a lot of people in this space that are just here simply to talk crap and try to beat you down. And it doesn't really bother me. Like I've mentioned many times before, I was a professional gamer for a long time, for, probably about 10, I didn't even do the math, probably about 10 years or so. And I had tons of trash talkers, tons of people talking crap. It just kind of rolls off my back. And in fact, if people want to talk crap, that's fine. It actually makes for pretty darn good content. There's people that make videos talking just shit about me all the time. And I think it's actually funny. So keep it up. And that actually, I just want to throw this out there. Unfortunately, Angry Crypto Show stopped making content, which is very disappointing. Had great content, tons of great updates on YouTube. So make sure you guys show support to him. I'm not sure what's exactly going on there, but hopefully he starts that up again soon. But the thing I want to circle back to here is that I've been talking about an extended market cycle for a very, very long period of time. People just keep saying, oh, you're just kicking the can down the road. And no, all the way back in 2023, I actually started talking about a super cycle, bull market cycle. This isn't the earliest confirmation that we've ever gotten, but this also leads me to believe that we are 99% chance about to have a crypto super cycle. And this is huge for ADA. So this was all the way from back in December of 2023. So right at the start of the bull market cycle. And I made videos all the way back even into February of 2023, where I was talking about exactly this. And in this video, I talked about institutional adoption. I talked about government embrace, things that were not a thing yet that were going to be coming down the pipeline. And I also talked about us moving into mass adoption. And we have started to see these things take place. We have started to see obviously major institutional embrace with tons of spot ETF filings. We obviously and active trading going on as well. We obviously have talked about this embrace from the government, obviously legislation going through as well. And guys, when I was talking about the 6 months yesterday, for people that didn't listen, the 6 months we talked about were big things, big steps forward in the crypto ecosystem itself, as well as the Cardano ecosystem. Massive developments for obviously Cardano itself, but also big crypto embrace, rate cuts, ETF products, right? A lot of that stuff, which is in fact coming down the pipeline in a very short period of time. And the biggest thing we have not seen yet is obviously mass adoption. We haven't seen a ton of retail in this market cycle, and you could blame whatever you want. Correlation is not causation, or causation is not correlation. I'm not sure exactly what the saying is, but we have seen a lot of things that could be spooking retail. It could be black swan events. We've had several of those this year alone. It could be the tariff news, could be economic uncertainty, it could be that people don't have that much money. I would argue the opposite. And actually, like I've talked about in some other videos, savings have actually been on the rise for all of 2025, which is a good sign. But regardless of what it may be, you have to understand that this adoption for the crypto market is not going to stop. I think it was back in the fall, and some people said I was a conspiracy theorist, but it's proving that this has actually been true, that all these big entities are just trying to get all their stuff in place before they push towards the masses, before they really try to trigger retail adoption. Believe it or not, guys, they want retail in the space. They want to make all the fees from exchanges. They want to have the fiat on ramps and off ramps and make the fees from that. They want to have the ETF products, a safe haven for crypto trading. That is how the big entities will make money. And that is what, unfortunately, is part of what some of the manipulation that we're dealing with in the space, but it's also how we get to big embrace. It's also how we get to, the 10 to 12 trillion dollars in terms of market cap this market cycle alone, but that's also how we get to that 30 trillion to 100 trillion dollar industry, how we get advanced utility. That's how something like ADA takes big steps forward, because again, it has a lot of interest on both the enterprise and government side. There's obviously institutional interest because there's spot ADA ETFs filings up the wazoo, but it's also a retail safe haven, right? Retail flocks to ADA when the market is popping, when adoption's taking place. So that's kind of in summation where I wanted to get back to. I think I found my way pretty well through that. But, the people that are talking crap or getting bearish, you guys can do whatever you want. I mean, this is a free country. It's an open forum unless you're just being completely disruptive. But the point I'm trying to make is the market doesn't care about what you say. It doesn't care about what your feelings are. It doesn't care about what you do. It doesn't care about what I say. It's going to do what it does. And we're eventually getting into much bigger times of embrace. And it's going to happen a lot faster than what people are anticipating. And yes, I still think we're 99% likelihood going to see a crypto super cycle. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.